Welcome to lecture number 79. In this lecture, we will not do anything new, but we will plot the exponential functions that we have come across in last couple of lectures. Right. We will, in this lecture, we will plot 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 functions. They are of different types, and we will see how we can plot a given function or a mathematical expression for a current or a voltage in MS Excel. Right. We are given as example number 1, we are given this current I of t is V over R e to the minus t over RC. Suppose we are given R is equal to 1, B is equal to 5, and C is equal to 1. If we put these values, we plug these values in here, it comes out to be I of t is 5 e to the minus t. Right. So we'll test I of t for different values of t for t greater than 0, because we are working for t greater than 0 just after we have moved the switch or closed the switch or opened the switch. Right. So for different values of t, we'll evaluate 5 at an angle 5 e to the minus t. For 0, it is 0. For 1, this is 0.67. For 2, this is 0.24. If you want to make your life easier, you can go to MS Excel. Right. Here we are. Here are two columns Here are two columns. The first column represents t. The second column 5 e to the minus t. Right. So what we have done is we have put numbers 0, 1, 2, 3 in this column, and in the second column we have introduced a formula. The formula is 5 is equal to, when you put an is equal to, this means we are going to start a formula. 5, we are going to put this expression 5 e to the minus t, 5 multiplied by exp is exponential of minus a2. This is a2, this one, this cell. A2 is this cell. So 5 multiplied by e to the minus a2 represents t of 0. So this gives us I of 0. So this is t is equal to 1. So this formula gives us I of 1. So once we have put this formula in, we don't have to enter the formula again and again. We have to click here, take your mouse unless it is converted into this plus sign, and then you have to drag this to the whole values you have entered for t, and the formula is automatically updated for all values of t. So we have to put this formula, we have to enter this formula only once, not again and again and again. And then we have to plot this for, we have to plot this range and this range. So we have to select these two, these two columns, and go to insert and then plot xy plot, scatter plot. It's xy plot. So this gives you the xy plot. Now on the x-axis you have plotted t, and on the y-axis you have plotted 5 e to the minus t. You see it's a decreasing exponential as we have drawn it in our lecture. It's 5 e to the minus t. Right. So the second example for today's lecture is v1 minus e to the minus t over rc. We will put v is equal to 5, r is equal. These are only temporary or arbitrary values we have introduced. They're only arbitrary values. So if you plug these values in, v of t becomes 5, 1 minus e to the minus t. Let's see how is it plotted for different values of t. Let's go to the Excel file again. In this sheet, I have implemented this for you. 5 e to the minus t. 5, 1 minus e to the minus t. Right. So what we have done is I have put is equal to 5 multiplied by 1 minus e to the minus a2. A2 is t is equal to 0. So what you have entered this formula once, and then we can drag it for all values of t. right? And we will again select these two columns. Select these two columns, we'll go to insert and we'll select this. So this will give us this plot. This will give us this plot 5 1 minus e to the minus t. As a third example, I have solved for you this minus v e to the minus t r over L. This is the third example. We have put some arbitrary values of v, r, and L, and v of t comes out to be minus 10 e to the minus 2t. And if we put different values of t, we get different values of v of t. I have plotted this function to this one. So I introduce the formula in the second column. I put the same range of values t in the first column and have drawn this graph by selecting these two columns, going into the insert tab and selecting xy. Scatter plot. Scatter plot. As a last example, we have plotted this I of t is minus I 1 minus e to the minus t r over L. We have introduced some arbitrary values for I, R, and L, and I of t comes out to be this much. So how to plot this in MS Excel? The same way, in this fourth sheet I have introduced this graph. So this is the first column for showing different values of t, and I have plugged my formula in here. I'll share the same Excel sheet in our WhatsApp group too, so that you can experiment with it. You can add different values, you can change formulas, and you can play with this, and you will see the graph changing. Right, this is our fourth example, and that's all for this lecture. We will continue studying more about transient circuits in our upcoming lectures. Thank you.